Okay, imagine this for a second. You get a massive, life-changing cash windfall. For a lot of us, the very first thought is, buy a house, outright. No bond, no monthly payments, just pure, unadulterated ownership. It really does sound like the ultimate dream, doesn't it? But as we're about to find out, the smartest financial move isn't always the most obvious one.
And look, this isn't just some theoretical question. This is a real dilemma posted on Reddit by someone facing this exact situation. They inherited 2.1 million Rand and were looking at a 2 million Rand home in Cape Town. Their question cuts right to the heart of a huge financial decision, so we're going to break down all the arguments for and against using their scenario as our case study.
All right, first things first, let's talk about why buying with cash is just so incredibly tempting. The appeal is really powerful, and it's based on some very real, very tangible benefits that go way beyond just the numbers on a page. I mean, there's an undeniable psychological win here. Owning your home free and clear means it is truly yours. No bank can touch it if you hit a rough patch financially. That feeling of stability, of having a permanent roof over your head that nobody else has a claim to, that is a massive weight off your shoulders. It's financial peace of mind in its purest form.
But beyond just the feeling, there are huge practical advantages. Paying cash radically simplifies the whole buying process. You don't have to go through the whole song and dance of getting a home loan approved, which means no credit checks, no anxious waiting around. You just show proof of funds, make your offer, and let me tell you, sellers absolutely love this. A cash offer is clean, it's fast, and it makes you a very, very attractive buyer.
Now, this is where that speed advantage becomes crystal clear. Just look at the property transfer row. We're talking about maybe 6 weeks for a cash purchase versus 3 months for a bonded one. That is a huge difference. In a competitive market, that speed can be the single deciding factor that lands you your dream home. Okay, so the cash dream is looking pretty good right now. But here's where we need to pump the brakes just a little. That 2 million Rand price tag on the house, that is not the final number you'll be paying. Not even close. Let's look at the hidden costs that can eat into that inheritance very, very quickly.
The first surprise hit is a big one: transfer duty. It's basically a government tax on the value of the property. For a 2 million Rand house, that's an immediate, non-negotiable payment of over 41,000 Rand that you owe before the keys are even in your hand. And believe me, that's just the start.
And suddenly, as this chart shows, your 2.1 million Rand inheritance is almost entirely gone. After the purchase price, the transfer duty, and the legal fees for the conveyancing attorneys, those are the lawyers who handle the property transfer, you're left with that tiny little sliver on the chart. That's your buffer, for emergencies, for furniture, for anything else. It's dangerously close to zero. And even once you're in, the costs just keep coming. Every single month, you'll be paying rates and taxes to the municipality. Things will break, so you need a maintenance fund. You absolutely have to have home insurance. You'll likely want armed response for security. And that's before we even talk about water, electricity, and internet. Owning a house is expensive, even when it's paid off.
So if sinking all your cash into one single asset leaves you financially vulnerable, what's the alternative? This is where we shift our thinking. We stop thinking like just a homeowner and we start thinking like an investor. It's a completely different way of looking at that 2.1 million Rand.
You hear this piece of advice again and again from financial experts. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, right? We're all taught that debt is bad. But when it comes to a home loan or a bond, the interest rates are typically the lowest you can get for any type of loan. This makes it a unique and really powerful financial tool. And this brings us to a crucial concept: opportunity cost. When you put your entire $2.1 million into your house, that money is locked up. It's stuck. It can't be used for anything else. You've lost the opportunity to invest that cash in something else, like stocks or a business, that could potentially generate a much higher return for you over time. This leads us to this smart strategy called gearing. In simple terms, it just means using leverage. You put down a solid deposit on the house, maybe 500,000 Rand, and you get a bond for the remaining 1.5 million. This suddenly frees up 1.6 million of your own cash. The whole goal is to invest that freed up capital in a portfolio that grows faster than the interest you're paying on your bond. If your investments return 10% and your bond costs you 8%, you're literally creating wealth. And this isn't some fringe theory, you know. It's a core wealth-building strategy. Many wealthy individuals do not buy property with cash. They use the bank's relatively cheap money for the property, and then they deploy their own capital into a diverse portfolio of higher growth investments. They make their money work for them in multiple places at once.
This investor mindset, it just opens up a whole new world of possibilities. It forces us to see property not just as a home, but as an asset class. And owning the building you live in isn't the only way to play the game.
Property has historically been a fantastic way to protect your wealth from inflation. As the value of money slowly decreases over time, the value of physical assets like property tends to rise. But here's the thing. Owning the house you live in is not the only way to tap into this benefit.
This slide lays out the two main paths. You could go the direct route, like a buy-to-let property, where you own the physical building and earn rental income. Or you could go the indirect route by investing in something called a property unit trust, or a REIT. Think of it like buying shares in a company whose only business is owning and managing a huge portfolio of properties, malls, office buildings, warehouses. You get the benefit of property ownership without ever having to fix a leaky toilet.
So, we've seen the emotional appeal of cash, we've seen the harsh reality of the costs, and we've seen the strategic power of using leverage. It's a lot to take in. So, how do you actually make a choice? Well, it all comes down to asking the right questions.
So, before you sign that offer, it really is time for a gut check. The choice you make isn't just about this one house. It's a decision that will shape your entire financial future. So let's get focused on what truly matters here.
Here is your checklist. Is your main goal security or is it wealth growth? Have you calculated all the costs and ensured you have a healthy emergency fund left over? Have you honestly considered the opportunity cost? Could that 2 million rand generate more wealth for you somewhere else? And finally, how comfortable are you with having your entire net worth locked up in a single asset that you can't sell quickly? Your answers to these questions will guide you to the right decision for you.
Ultimately, this is the thought I want to leave you with. For our Ready user, and for anyone in this fortunate position, the question shifts. It moves from a simple question of can I to a much deeper question of strategy. The dream of a debt-free house is powerful, but the ultimate goal is long-term financial freedom. And sometimes that's a dream built not on the cash you spend, but on the cash you put to work.